What's up, guys? Back with a little mini vlog. We actually get to get some behind the scenes. Heading over to ESPN 600 here in El Paso, Texas. Got a nice little opportunity to go talk about the UFC card with AJ, Big Game Hunter Hotckins. Met Adrian earlier in the day when hanging out with AJ, so Adrian was like, hey, come on down to the radio, so come help talk about some UFC fights. So yeah, man, we're gonna go check this out, hang out with them a little bit, and take you guys behind the scenes to this little mini vlog. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get it.
And game one of the NBA Finals last night, and that's how we begin hour number 2 of Sports Talk. Welcome back, everybody. Adrian Broadus here, along with Michael Plendo, Alberto Reta. We got Jason Tafoya as well. Guys, let's whip around real quick before we bring on AJ Hotckins, Jimmy Dukes Rodriguez here as well. We're going to bring them on, talk a little MMA here on in our second hour. Oregon, you starred for the Miners and played Conference USA. You were Conference USA Co-Tackler of the Year in 2018-19, whatever it was. But now you've gone all in on MMA. And
Correct.
Catch us up. I mean, it's been a while since we've had you last onto the program. We see you all the time, but it's great to see you back. It's great to have you back with us here. And you brought a guest with us as well, Jimmy Dukes Rodriguez.
What's up? What's up?
Absolutely. I mean, catching up as far as, I won my last fight December 15th, and I'm coming off double meniscus repair, so I'm bilateral, so I have both knees done. The doctor said it would have been too easy if especially overseas in Russia specifically, but I think Ilya Topuria is a huge star. He's taking out guys like Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, and he says what he's going to do.
A lot of subscribers. You got over 1,000 videos and over 1,000 subscribers, by the way. But you put content out on a weekly basis, and I love it. You do so much to break down different fights. You do so much to talk about combat sports in the Southwest. Welcome aboard, man. Thanks for joining us here on Sports Talk today.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate the invitation to come over and hang out. I mean, I love combat sports, being around guys like AJ and coaches and different gyms and, being around jiu-jitsu and stuff. I do enjoy the sport, so being able to cover it and actually know what I'm kind of talking about when it comes to, Southwest athletes, it's awesome, man. So I appreciate y'all.
Okay, let's revisit this question right here, because as the big headliner, O'Malley Dvalishvili, that's the one that everybody's got the rematch on their radar right there. But just in general, if you had to take a step back and look at the UFC as a whole and try to sell it to the national national sports fans and say, hey, look, this is a real sport right there. This is a real sport that's fun to watch and is so entertaining. But more than that, it might be one of the best sports in the world if you really sit down, ingrain yourself in it, and educate yourself on all the great fighters out there.
Yeah, I mean, how AJ kind of was saying, there's not a Conor McGregor right now that's like trash talking and things out there. There's a lot of great athletes and fighters that are there, kind of how AJ was saying with Islam and Ilya. They're not household names, but there is guys, if you follow the sport enough, you'll know who is who. They might not have that superstar power, kind of like how O'Malley is. You know what I mean? Like, you see the crazy hair, you see the tattoos, and you're like, oh, I know him. He's a UFC fighter. Right now, I don't think there's like a superstar, like as far as like the regular person who just a casual follower might not know, other than maybe John Jones. But other than John Jones. And he's not even fighting anytime soon and back and forth. That would be like the only way you could say, like, this guy is undefeated for X amount of years. He's a heavyweight champ. But as far as like superstar power, like AJ would say, like, there isn't really somebody out there that's like, oh my God, we gotta go see him.
Yeah, and it's interesting, AJ. I just look at where UFC's at right now. They're waiting for this contract with ESPN to end, and after this, reportedly, Netflix is going to be in on it. As a fighter, you don't care about any of this. You show up in the octagon, you're ready to go. But I want this sport to continue in its popularity. I want this sport to be viewed by millions and millions across the world. I really believe this is one of the best sports out there right now. How can it grow in popularity, or does that even matter?
I do think it matters, and my goal is the same as yours, is to grow the popularity of the sport. I think that the sport is going to grow in popularity just because again, like you said, it's a great sport. People enjoy watching it. It kind of like tunes in with people's like animalistic, they're like animalistic, like evolutionary. What's the word? Their animalistic like side of them. Their primal side, and people really enjoy watching the fights. Like you came to my last fight, and when people come to my fights, like they're all about they become fans, and so. To answer your question, man, I think that, again, I think it's becoming a more mainstream thing. It would help to have a star like leading the UFC. I think the UFC wanted that to be O'Malley, and I think they still want it to be O'Malley because they give him another title shot, even though, he's coming off a loss to Merab. He had a surgery, then he gets another title shot. So it looks like the UFC wants that to be O'Malley, but again, like it's not it's real. So it's like you talk about the Pacers like Halliburton, right? Like he's becoming a star. Shai Alexander. I'm a huge fan of that guy, and that's this year. But it's because I don't even know what they're saying in the media or whatever. But they're going out and I'm a fan of the sport. So when you go out and you make plays and on a world level, then I think you become a star. And like guys like Ilia Topuria, like I mentioned earlier, like he talks the talk and then he goes out there and he backs it up. He's saying he's gonna knock Max Holloway out, and he goes out there and knocks Max Holloway out. He's never been knocked out before. Same thing with Alexander Volkanovski. He said the same thing and the same thing happened, and so and probably more. So you look at the sport of like mixed martial arts, MMA. It's only been around 30 years. So like now we're gonna start to see like monsters enter like the sport, like such as like Ilia Topuria, Islam, all these guys that are lifelong mixed martial artists, and at the highest level. So
all right, Alberto's got something for you guys.
And let's just run the scenario that a mom has come to you guys and is asking you, yo, I want my son to practice MMA, but I'm a little worried about X, Y, and Z.
That's a great question.
Give us the pitch. How does it work? How you need to put your son in because of X, Y, and Z?
Great question. How do you ease the mind of parents? Obviously...
I can chime in on this one only because I have 2 boys.
There you go. Do it,
I have 2 boys, you know what I mean? I got them in jiu-jitsu, and it's more of about just the discipline and knowing that somebody can just take you down and hold you down and really beat you up if you really wanted to. And I want to instill that into kids as far as like, hey, like, some people out there have no idea how it feels to get somebody to grab you or get a hold of you. And I feel like being able to put somebody on a combat sport brings that discipline down, and they're less likely to get bullied or less likely to bully somebody and feel comfortable knowing that I can take care of myself if I need to. A lot of parents worry about like, oh, like, is he going to get hurt? Like I would say training is one of the safest ways that you can train, because there is a lot of different ways that you can get hurt, but if you're at the right place with the right type of coaches, like injuries, like during practicing, is far in between. Yeah, it should not happen.
Yeah, you chime in.
And and so like I wouldn't recommend Gordon. I didn't grow up a mixed martial artist, but I'm always asking the kids at the gym that have. I'm like, hey, have you ever been in a fight at school? You know what I mean? And it's interesting, like some of the responses I get back, because like they're trained, like they so maybe it's one. You know what I mean? But I know growing up, like
majority is not.
Yeah.
To clarify. Majority doesn't.
Right. Well, and also like it's never them. You know what I mean? It's never them. Like, so because you just become. Yeah. It's like you do it every day, and you like, for me, like I'm almost like desensitized. So like I could watch a fight and like there's no problem. And so I guess to answer the question is I would say like put him in jiu-jitsu, put him in wrestling. It's great for body control, proprioception, like your spatial body awareness, and it's a life skill like that you'll have for the rest of your life. So for my boys, it'll be 100% mandatory, just like a swim lesson would be, because like I don't want them to grow up and not be equipped with like I'm not saying you have to be a professional, but you have to go.
Just be knowledgeable that it can happen to you, not that you have to defend yourself or impose your will on somebody, but just knowing to be able to handle a situation or get away or take care of somebody if you need to. Like, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I like it. You guys answered that one in a great way. Let's go to UFC 316 right after the break. Let's take a timeout right now. We've got AJ Hotckins in the building, Jimmy Dukes Rodriguez as well. We are talking right now a lot of combat sports, UFC 316, which is happening tomorrow. If you have a question for AJ, for Jimmy, give us a call, 915-505-6009. Message us, 600 ESPN El Paso on Twitter, or message us on our free app. That is 600 ESPN El Paso as well. Take a time out right now. When we come back, more in a moment here on 600 ESPN El Paso.
As far as like if you're brand new to like the UFC, then I would say like this is an average card.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
What's the last best card we've seen? What's the last?
I'd have to go back and look. Now the fact that there's so many cards and so many fights, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get caught up in like, what was that fight? Oh, that was 2 weeks ago.
I'll
man.
reel this year's fights, okay? I'll reel off the best ones, okay? This is according to ESPN. Makachev versus Moicano. Didn't love that one because Moicano stepped in.
He stepped in late.
Yeah, the rematch of Dracus Duplessis and Sean Strickland. That was February.
That was all
right. I
right.
would need to hear the whole card though. You know what I mean? Like, like top to bottom was the question.
Okay, I'll give you fight of the night. How about that? I'll start throwing in some fight of the nights. UFC 313. That was Pereira versus Ankalaev. Gaethje also fought on that one.
Oof.
Yeah. So that was 313. That was in March. Don't forget about what happened back in April. That was Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopez. That was April 18th. And then just recently we had Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena, and that was May 10th out in Canada. So what do we think, guys? Good year of fighting so far, or average year?
You know, I'm excited for the fights to come, to be honest with you. I think,
this average, I would say, so far.
Yeah, I would say average, and I think this summer is going to start to heat up with, like, Hamzat got booked. I actually don't do a great job of keeping up with these fights until, like, the week of. But to answer your question, it looks like 311 was the last one with Islam, Marab versus Umar, Yuri versus Jamal Hill, Almeida versus Spivak, Kevin Holland versus D. Ritter, who's actually emerging as a star in the middleweight division.
Yeah, he's fighting Whitaker coming up soon.
That's good. See that? Like, I'm excited about that. That's going to be a good one.
Okay, let's jump into 316.
Okay, I'm ready.
By the way, this is going to be the first one on the main, or I should say, this is on the first one on the main card. So this is going to be Mario. Actually, this is Vince. What is
Vicente
Luque, thank
Holland,
you, and Kevin Holland. So, guys, tell me how we need to treat. What is the NBA equivalent of Kevin Holland? Because I feel like it's Miles Turner, a guy who's just kind of been around, maybe a role player on a team, shows up, fights hard, but maybe
I would say like Michael Beasley.
Yes.
You follow the NBA?
No, I wouldn't even give you any names, man.
Michael Beasley's great
because he's like super talented, but like sometimes like I just feel like he fight. And I said this. I give my fight picks. You guys check me out on Instagram. Big Game Hunter MMA on Instagram. But I'll give all my fight picks. We did them last night, and he just kind of fights outside of himself. He's a showman though.
Yeah.
So there are always great fights. Don't get me wrong. Like he's a must watch, but he does certain things that are like not winning strategies. So I would say like he's super talented, Michael Beasley, but like for like whatever reason his career hasn't manifested to like what people would have thought it would have amounted to. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, I think that was a really good analogy on the spot. I'm really impressed. All right, what do you think of this fight, Jimmy?
I like it too as well because I like Vicente. Vicente was on my radar when he was on the Ultimate Fighter a while back, and he's a solid guy out of Florida, American Top Team. I don't know if he still trains there, but him fighting Kevin, just how AJ was saying it, who's going to show up? Which Kevin's going to show up? You know what I mean? A couple years ago, he was a world beater. He was winning fights on short notice, you know, getting everybody riled up. Now he's like jumping back and forth between two weight classes, and he has all the tools, but like how does he want to go out there and approach the fight? Vicente is one of those guys, he's going to come straight at you, leg kicks, punch, come straight at you, good jiu-jitsu. But Holland, like, he has all the tools to win, but, you know, which one's going to show up?
Yeah,
That's
a
the
good
only
point.
thing, you know what I mean? Because if he really wanted to, his I mean, you can contest his body length, the way his
he
frame.
could be at the top of the division. Is
Yeah.
what I think.
Yeah.
As far as 170 goes, at least.
Let's speed through some of these other ones. A fight under the UFC, and he was signed by the UFC on May 14th. So what a turnaround! I mean, having to fight basically a couple weeks after the fact, and he's going up against Mario Bautista. Should be an interesting one out of the bantamweight. 135 is where these two are fighting.
Yeah, I think Patchy is I think he's a problem. Yeah, I think he's going to do really well in this fight.
Yeah, I think they brought him in to push that weight class.
That division. Yeah, I think and I think he can. I think his grappling is strong enough. I think I've only seen a couple of fights. I think predominantly he's a grappler, but he's a long athletic striker. I think he does have power. I think he's just long athletic, but his game is to get it to the ground and start. And he's a guy that trains, again, like I said yesterday, with Andy Varela, 10 Planet Las Vegas, and those guys are super talented jiu-jitsu guys, super talented, especially for MMA. So I think Patchy here, just because of the athletic ability, the measurables, and I think that he's going to be able to impose his game plan and his will against.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. He's gonna beat him up because Mario's good. He's a top 10 guy. But I mean, as far as like what Patchy does, he's 20-1. You know what I mean? Like he's 20-1. He's 6 foot. He has like that range, kind of like O'Malley, like a big dude for 135. That's crazy.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So.
What's his how tall is he?
He's 5'9". Oh, actually, hold on. Let's see. Yeah. So he's 5'9". So he's up there as a 135er.
135.
You know what I mean?
But it's also his like leg and arm length.
Yeah.
I feel like
guillotine master.
Same thing with Kevin Holland, man. Like he has an 81-inch reach.
Yes.
He knocks guys out off of his back. Like what I mean?
It's pretty
That'd be like Patrick. For those of you guys that are new to MMA, that'd be like Patrick Mahomes throwing a 60 or a bomb off his back.
Right.
Literally, because it's like that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
When he does that.
Knockout
On your back
crazy.
is kind of crazy, right?
All right, let's go to the middleweights. Kelvin Gastelum taking on Joe Pyfer. I was talking to you a lot about Joe Pyfer this week, AJ, because he was supposed to join us on the show this week. He ended up being a little busy. Then I'm watching some of his interviews this week of Fight Week, and he's working on his cars and stuff like that ahead of the fight. He's taking some time to have fun and to get his mind off the octagon. On the flip side, he's going up against a guy in Kelvin Gastelum who's 20-9 overall. Joe Pyfer is 13-3. These are two middleweight fighters, 185. Maybe you could fight one of these guys down the line. Who knows? Maybe you see a Joe Pyfer in your career.
Yeah, potentially.
What do you think of this fight?
I think that Joe Pyfer takes this one. TKO, KO, first round, second round ish. I think that the longer the fight goes, it goes more towards Kevin Gastelum with his experience. He has some really good fights. Israel Adesanya, and he's kind of bounced around. He's been a 170, he's been a 185er, and I just think that Joe Pyfer is going to be. I've never seen him, but from what I've heard, he's a really big dude. And if you watch him fight, he has a ton of power. You can tell when he touches people, like the fight changes a little bit. And so I got to take Joe Pyfer here, TKO, KO.
Yeah, KG's been around for a while. Ultimate Fighter winner. You know what I mean? He's had title shots.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Like, by all means, like he is not a slouch. But as far as like if you look at it on paper, Joe Pyfer has the power. He's younger, bigger, stronger. So I mean, Kelvin could probably go all 3 rounds. You know what I mean? Probably give Joe a run for his money for the cardio part. But as far as like KG like maybe finishing the fight or anything, I just don't see it happening. As much as I like Calvin, you know what I mean? I think Joe just gets it done for sure.
Okay, let's move on to another fight, which I have no clue about this one, guys. Somebody from Vegas has to give me a call from this one. Women's bantamweight title fight. Juliana Pena, who is a plus 450 underdog as the title holder in this fight, against Kayla Harrison, who's 18-1. She's minus 700. I mean,
it went up. It was 600 last night.
Yesterday I said put your money on Pena. I picked Pena before I even knew what the odds were.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then he told me the odds, and everybody at the gym was like, what? I got Kayla Harrison. But to me, I got Juliana Pena, and if you're into the betting scene, I'm definitely going with Pena because there's no way anybody on the main card, in my opinion, on most of these cards should be a minus 700 favorite, in my opinion. Like, I haven't
That
seen
is
a
ridiculous,
fight
right?
on the main card where I would say, you know what, that person is probably a minus 700 favorite.
Why aren't there
That's crazy to
lopsided
me.
fights in the UFC, Jimmy?
I mean, there's the skill level. Like, once you start getting the top 10, AJ, like, everybody's a dog. It doesn't matter what weight class, women or men. You know what I mean? So it's
If
hard to see a
anything,
lopsided
Joe
fight.
Pyfer should be the minus
Yeah,
700
yeah,
favorite,
for
right?
sure. I
If
think
anything.
because Kayla's coming in from the PFL. She's pretty much like the second coming of like.
She looks scary.
Yeah, she's scary. She two-time Olympic judo medalist, gold medalist. You know what I mean? She just bullies everybody. The only thing that I see her having an issue here is that they've always give her a hard time because of the cardio. You know, and
Yeah.
Julia is a cardio bunny as far as like she can keep going, and that's the only way I kind of see the fight. Like, not going for Kayla's way. The longer it goes, the better for Julia.
But
for
also,
sure.
I just think from a fighting perspective, I think Pena, there's no way you count her out. Like, even first, second, third, fourth, whatever round. Like, I think that I've just seen her do it where she beat Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
How do you beat Amanda Nunes and then you come in and Kayla's minus 700 favorite? You know,
Yeah.
that is, I mean, like, so, and also to answer your question about like in MMA, man, like the best are fighting the best. It's
Yeah.
not boxing. Like, you watch pro boxing, that's why nobody watches it. Well, actually, people do watch it, but boxing's kind of like a dead. I'm a boxing fan, but like, what's gone on in boxing lately?
Yeah, if
I
Canelo's
really
not
don't
fighting,
know.
it's kind of like not on my radar, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's some guys like Canelo, Terrence Crawford, Usage, like they're.
Lomachenko just retired this week.
Lomachenko just retired. I'm a huge David Benavidez fan. That division's interesting. Better Beef, but like as far as like the best in MMA are going to be fighting the best, even at the regional level. Like
Yep.
the guy that they match me up with next is going to be similar record, similar skill set, similar. So like in MMA, like they're all real fights, and that's how they could put these events on every weekend because.
For what's next?
Just July 27th, man. We're just waiting on an opponent. So anybody that's 205, 185 pounds, send them on over to me and we'll sign the contract. So
Houston, Texas?
Houston, Texas, brother.
Fury FC.
Fury FC.
You're excited about this one?
I'm always excited, man. I'm always ready to go. You know, I'm coming off bilateral knee surgery, man. So, we talked about that earlier, but I've sat out now like 4.5 months, 5 months now, and I'm just excited and blessed and to be back and be healthy, be training again, and ready to, whoever they give me, ready to sign a contract, man. So
Awesome stuff.
yeah, I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you as well. Let's swing it over to Jason Tafoya. We've got also, by the way, we got Jimmy Dukes Rodriguez. He's joining us as well. We're breaking down all sorts of UFC 316. Jason, I'll swing it over to you. You go ahead. You have a question for the guys.
Was just that good, Rob has a crazy gas tank. I've never seen a gas tank like the what he brings to the cage, and I just think stylistically, I don't think there's really anybody that could help Sean O'Malley. I know he's made some changes in what he does, his life and lifestyle, and which are all good. And, they may all be positive. I think as an athlete myself, I'm always looking for that 1%, to continue to grow and get better. But I think just as far as O'Malley and Merab goes, I just think stylistically, it's going to be a really tough night for Sean O'Malley. But also, he does have power in his hands, and he did hurt Merab in the 5th round of their last fight. And so, we'll see.
Michael, go ahead.
Hi, AJ. I kind of want to ask this question more about you. What do you kind of do to keep your body ready for a fight? When AJ Hotckins is fighting on fight day, what does he do that day? Take me through a day with AJ Hotckins.
Like fight day?
Yep, fight day.
Fight day. Fight day for me is just really, I'm just really zen, calm, and I'm at peace. And I wake up, I shake out. So usually I'll hit the pads a little bit. I'll stretch, I'll move. I actually spar. I like to spar because I like the intensity, and I like to kind of gather my timing, my rhythm, and I like to feel kind of like what the fight might feel like, before I get to the arena, and and really I'll read a book, I'll take a nap, I'll eat, and for me it's just a day of zen. It's a day of peace and just getting ready, get my mind ready to go step in the cage. And long story short, but as far as there's nothing really special that I do or anything like that. I just wake up, shake out, read, just do my breath work. Maybe I'll take a cold plunge. I just try to stay really present, and I do that every day. So for me, that's my process. And then we'll head to the arena, the stadium, or whatever, and start to get loose again, start to get lumber again, and just keep my mind sharp and stay focused and at the task at hand, and get in the cage.
Jimmy, man, your first appearance on Sports Talk was a lot of fun. You did a great job.
I appreciate it.
And I appreciate you being here and breaking down some fight stuff for us. We're going to ask one more question to AJ, but I've got one more question for you. Tomorrow, it's the main event title fight, UFC 316, Merab Dvalishvili taking on Sugar Sean O'Malley. Who do you have here in the rematch, and why?
I'm going to oppose AJ here. Sean was hurt in that last fight. He did get taken down, but he wasn't tired. You know what I mean? So I think him coming back, knowing that, hey, I got my butt kicked. He said that was his first official loss, even though that's his second loss. That I think that the personal choices and everything is going to help, but I think just him knowing that, he beat me at my maybe 50%, and he's more serious about it going in. I think I don't think he'll knock him out. The only way I think that Sean wins is if he outpoints him, because the thing about Merab, he's a machine, and that's his nickname, but he won't get tired. But he has the lowest finishing rate of all UFC right now, 8%. He's only finished one fight. So right now, I don't think Sean's worried about getting choked or getting knocked out. He just got to defend the pressure. So I feel like Sean will get it done, but I don't know if he'll knock him out or finish him. It might go. It's gonna go 5 rounds again, but I think Sean will get it done 3-2.
My man, that's a really good take, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And I could almost see the fight going the way that he just said, too.
Yeah.
Well, I like it.
I think that honestly, on the feet, I think that if he could start to deny some of the takedowns early, this doesn't change my pick, but I'm saying I do see the fight going with what he said, as well as. If he could deny some of the takedowns early on the feet, maybe discourage Merab. I don't know if you can discourage Merab.
Yeah.
I don't know, but and just stay on his matador and stay on his on the balls of his feet and just kind of maybe outpoint him.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would have to go back and look at some of Merab's fights. Has he been knocked out before?
No, I think we were kind of talking about it.
We were talking about it. We didn't look it up.
But it wasn't official. He had lost consciousness and woke up.
Yeah. Well, that was he got choked to sleep, and he woke up and won the fight. He got choked to sleep.
I'm looking.
Woke up. And won the fight, son.
How does that even happen?
I don't know how.
He's an animal.
Yeah, and he's on a tear. I mean, the Nurmagomedov fight recently.
Man, he's a beast.
There's a lot we could say about it.
Yes.
Hey, before we end the hour, AJ, you want to give some shout-outs to people?
Oh, no big shout-outs. Just we'll be at Gringo Theory Patio Bar. Come check us out. Where the fighters go to watch the fights. Last time we had a really good group go out there. It's a $1 cover charge. And Gringo Theory is awesome, man. They show the fights. It's a great spot to bring your family, bring your dog. Like Adrian said, my man Adrian said when we were cutting the promo, bring your dog. They got a dog park. It's a great vibe. It's an arcade. They have arcade games and all this other stuff. So really good vibes for fight night. And we'll be there. Gringo Theory Patio Bar. Big shout out to Gringo Theory. They've been sponsoring some of the local fighters here in El Paso. So if you guys can go out, show some support, and show some love to Gringo Theory.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by here today.
Thank you guys for having us.
Man. Thanks for having us.
AJ Hotckins, Jimmy Dukes Rodriguez joining us here in our studio as we continue. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, we will return for 30 more minutes of sports talk, including story time with Tim Haggerty coming up.
Well, there you go. Jimmy Dukes has officially made his radio debut. Shout out to Adrian and everybody here at the ESPN 600, man. That was cool to go in there and kind of talk about the fights, hang out with AJ. And talk about the card for UFC 316. Always cool to meet people that are interested in the sport. You know what I mean? I was able to, hang out, talk about my favorite sport, and the card tomorrow. But I hope you guys like this little behind the scene footage here with these guys at ESPN 600 here in El Paso. But make sure you guys drop a like, say what's up in the comments. You know, I'm gonna keep these videos coming, man. You guys know that I am a full-time content creator now, so make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. A comment really helps with the algorithm. You know how that works on different platforms. But until next time, peace out, homies. Y'all take care.